recently I went back and watched something I had not seen, and that is the miniseries of The Stand.
Oh, okay. Yes.
One of my favorite Stephen King novels.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the original miniseries from the 90s, and I wanted to see what this take was going to be like because it didn't get really good word of mouth. I enjoyed it. It gets less good reviews than the original series. I would put them about equal because both have strengths and both have weaknesses. This one is more modern. It has more modern effects. Some of the cast is better. In particular, the guy that plays Randall Flagg is the Skarsgård, the older Skarsgård boy. I think he's better than Jamie Sheridan as Randall Flagg.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that don't know, this is an apocalyptic movie. It basically a super flu wipes out the population of the United States, and then it kind of turns into a sequel to the Bible where it's a good versus evil kind of thing, and the evil.
It was a perfect book to read during the pandemic. You know,
perfect.
Yeah,
it was. James Marsden plays Stu in this. I don't think he's quite as good as Gary Sinise was. So it's like if I could pick and choose the cast. Ray Walston played Glenn Bateman in the original 90s miniseries. However, Greg Kinnear plays him in this, and I think Greg Kinnear is much better as Glenn Bateman.
Okay.
Not really much else to say about it because it's been around for a few years now. Actually, this series has only been around for 3 years, but the book itself came out in the late 70s. And of course, the original series came out in the 90s.
The 90s one was 3 parts, wasn't it? Wasn't it a 3-night deal? It was like 6 hours or 8 hours, something like that.
It may have been 4. Like
maybe 4 nights. Yeah, 4 nights and 8 hours, something like that. I just remember that I did like the structure a lot of the 90s one because it was similar to the book and the fact that it kept flipping back and forth between all these characters at first, but then also near the last half, it's of course all these characters in Vegas and what's happening in Vegas and going back and forth. Was this similar?
It was similar. There are some big differences, though. One of the differences, and one of the reasons people may be interested in this one, including myself, is that the entire last episode is like a caveat that was written by Stephen King for this production. So it's all new material.
Really?
Yeah. So there's an entire episode that is like an epilogue where Stu and Fran go back east.
And so it's after Vegas.
It's after everything has happened, yes. And everything has settled down. The town loves them. They're real reluctant to go, but they decide they want to go back to the East Coast and they leave. And there's a little bit, it's kind of like a little short story of them going back east. And Stephen King wrote it specifically for this production. So that alone is incentive for me to watch it. I would think it would be incentive for others to watch this version.
Of course, especially King fans. Now I want to watch it.
Yeah.
So, and it's on Paramount Plus, you said?
It's on Paramount Plus. I can't remember how many episodes it was. It seems like it was a little bit longer than the original. And the kid they've got playing Harold Lauder is also fantastic.
Okay.
So there's like several actors in this version that stand out. So I would highly recommend it for that as well. So for you folks out there, that's what I did this genre week. I watched The Stand.
Start the car. Johnny has the key.